It wasn't much of a place to start a parade, just the dusty scar of a road slicing off Tyler Road into the woods on the southern slope of Shades Mountain. But that's where 26 home builders met back in May to draw for the plots they would build on for the 1965 Parade of Homes. The men's faces revealed their thoughts and plans as they picked numbers of the building lots from the straw hat of a fellow contractor. Some frowned at the insignificant scraps of paper that would become so important in the days ahead. Maybe the lot had the wrong slope for the house they had envisioned, but that's a part of building. Change what you can of the land, turn its faults to assets by molding the house to fit the ground and rocks and trees. Others smiled in quiet satisfaction over drawing the lot they had wanted all along, one that would be a proper showcase for their wares and labor. For in the Parade of Homes there could be no deception. The result would be there for all to see, and Birmingham would come to see and compare the finished products. But that day was still far off as the builders marked the subdivision map, shook hands, and prepared for the work ahead. Within a few weeks, the main road had pierced deeper into the woods and sprouted side streets along the slopes. The pace remained casual, though, and the dirt road was still a playground for a wandering boy and his dog to explore. In mid-June, the serious work began. Axes rang and bulldozers rumbled, their blades grating against the sandstone that lies just beneath the red clay. In the early days of summer, it was too dry, and workmen gobbled dust as they cut the road and sank squared holes for foundations. Then the rain set in and turned the road to a greasy muck that mired up trucks and pulled at the boots of the workmen. A ditch gashed open the road. Workmen scrambled in and out, lining up the pipes, mortaring tight the joints. Behind came the bulldozer, closing the earth again over the water main. The line stretched off down Shades Mountain to make the connection that would bring water to the new homes. Together, the pipelines and unfinished streets teemed to give the neighborhood a look of permanence. At some home sites, the bed of sandstone that makes up the spine of Shades Mountain held up progress. Blasting teams came in and the chatter of steam drills rang through the woods. Behind the driller, the powder man worked gingerly, dropping the charges into the rock and tamping them down. When the plunger sparked off the charge, heavy rope mats held down the flying rock and muffled the explosion. In only a day, the crew sinks a gaping 5-foot hole, and work can begin on another basement. The houses, as July approached, were still marked only by the bare promise of string stretched taut to hold the basement diggers true. But the work went on, and the thoughtful visitor was impressed with how little the process of raising a home has changed in the days since pioneers first cleared the land and built their cabins. Bulldozers have replaced mule teams, planks are smooth and slick without the hewing marks of the hand craftsman, but the ring of axes and the thud of picks in reluctant earth abide. Some things automation will not replace in this craft: the sharp square edges of a well-dug ditch, the quiet coordination of men working together, one breaking loose the clay, the other scooping it clear. Unchanged, too, is the joy of building, of seeing the rough woods transformed into a bustling neighborhood. It shows in the face of the foreman who pauses to wipe sweat from his eyes and survey the house growing before him. There's a satisfaction in building unknown in other trades. Perhaps it springs from transforming the scribblings of a blueprint into wood and brick, or from the blending sounds of hammer and saw. Part of it, too, is the easy comradeship of the crew relaxing at lunchtime. Probably it's all of these things, plus the knowledge at the end of the day that the proof of a man's work is there for all to see and will endure. So in late June, the Parade of Homes was 3 months away from the smacking brightness of new paint and the glisten of porcelain, but the parade was well begun. Midsummer was cooler than usual this year. The weather held good and the houses mushroomed up. The bare bones of foundation and framing fleshed out into recognizable dwellings. Skins of siding and brick veneer imparted a touch of personality to each house, and early visitors began picking their favorites. To the untrained eye, it might have appeared that the houses were complete, save for the addition of a few shrubs and some grass. But much of the hardest and most delicate work lay ahead. No detail escaped notice. The parade of homes involves a total concept of quality living. Such items as correctly laid out and poured sidewalks receive close attention, for the future homeowner will have to live with everything on his lot. Landscapers also stayed busy at the heels of construction workers, for builders feel it's useless to take pains over a beautiful home and then set it in a pile of bare rocks and crabgrass. And by late August, the planning that goes into the parade of homes was plainly bearing fruit. The houses fit beautifully into the rolling terrain of Shades Mountain, and here was a project in which the consumer was the chief concern, not just a target to be nailed on opening day. It seems that some developers consider trees a minor nuisance to be bulldozed out of the way, but parade builders preserve as much of the natural setting as possible. No one will have to spend thousands of dollars and wait years for a shady wooded lot. It comes with the house. The streets follow the contours of the land. They're broad and safe and offer good visibility, something for young families with active kids to consider. The buyers of parade homes will not soon be faced with repair and maintenance bills either. For instance, this new siding looks and cuts like wood, but has the weather-resistant qualities of brick. The siding is a fire-resistant combination of wood, asbestos, and cement. The parade of homes will have many such advances to offer this year. The homes will include some of the newest appliances and most advanced materials. Among the innovations are vinyl flooring that never needs waxing, exterior siding that requires no painting, indoor barbecue grills, ovens with snap-out liners, combination dishwasher garbage disposals. All of this plus styling that will not be dated in a few years. Many new neighborhoods look as if the houses were all stamped out of the same mold and plopped down on tiny lots. The only difference in such houses is the placement of the front door or carport, and the only way to find your way home is to memorize the address. Not so with parade homes. Birmingham Association builders feel that each home should reflect something unique, something to set it apart from other houses. People have widely different tastes in design, but there is something here for everyone, and each is one that a family can point out with pride as our home. Builders have made excellent use of materials, both new and traditional. Many of the houses show a skillful blend of rustic woods and old brick. All are designed for easy, low-cost upkeep, and each has some distinctive touch. The selection ranges from sleek, low contemporary to traditional southern colonial styling. The chalet and English country home looks are in evidence in many roof lines and window arrangements. All of these things, style, convenience, economy, are important, but there's an even bigger extra for the 1965 Parade of Homes. As one builder pointed out, at most home shows, about the only